Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
As the training of the gods now continues through both Goku and Vegeta having to be shown taking two separate paths in achieving two different levels of power, while Vegeta is shown undertaking the Destroyer's ritual as he attends the summit of the gods, with Goku now finding himself within the clutches of one of his very own fusions from the past. The million-dollar question now going forward is how far will Goku go during his training course with Whis in order to discover a new level of power, and how far along the lines are both Frieza and Cooler going to push themselves as they too now look forward in training within the hyperbolic time chamber. Now, before we dive any further into this video, if you are new to the channel and of course have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball related, including its manga, anime, video games, fan animations, fan mangas, and more, in which would also like to be kept up to date with everything in regards to the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Dragon Ball Super anime, Dragon Ball video games, and any and all additional content within the Dragon Ball universe, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply excited to see what the future holds for the Dragon Ball franchise. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and now let's dive straight into the video. As our story continues back on planet Endeavor, with Ultra Instinct Goku being shown having to be held by none other than Black Arc Vegeta by the tail, as with all this orchestrated by Whis in order to further progress Goku's power in getting stronger, it was only upon from there with Vegeta now being shown holding on to Goku's tail, where Vegeta from that point had gone as far as to then tell him, "Well now, would you look at what we have here? You nearly got me there for a moment," he says. "I'll give you that much. I wasn't expecting for you to be as strong as you were, but you left yourself wide open. What happened, Mr. Silverhair? Go on, get up. Come on." "Oh, that's right," Black Arc Vegeta says. "Right, you can't. And here I was hoping your tail would be much stronger than this to resist me. It turns out I was wrong," with Goku responding, "God, I won't give up. Not now. Not like this. I can't. I've got to find a way to resist, to strengthen my tail. If I don't find a way to overcome this barrier, then I won't be able to make it against the top 5. "Oh, how far are you willing to go, Goku?" To which the second Goku had gone as far as to recognize this voice, and now having to look directly above him, he was only then met face to face by none other than his own wife Chi-Chi, as Goku went on to ask, "Chi-Chi? In the flesh, what's the matter? You look like you've seen a ghost. You wouldn't strike down your dear old wife now, would you, Goku?" No, Goku says. "You're not the real Chi-Chi. This is all an illusion," Goku says. "This isn't what's truly real, and your mind games won't work on me." good, Whis went on to comment. Now he's slowly beginning to understand, with Chi-Chi responding, how cheeky of you to doubt your own wife when you are looking dead into her own face. Here's a little reminder for you, just in case you forgot. But then, it was just instantaneously with Goku now being shown vanishing and reappearing to confront the doppelganger, where Goku went on to comment, that's better. Oh, wait, they're gone. Hey, pay attention, Goku, Whis went on to shout from afar. Don't just focus on what just happened here. To which Goku had now done just that, because the second Goku had now gone as far as to close his eyes, all of a sudden now surrounding the small island on planet Endeavor, we slowly but surely now begin to see these little ghoulish black demons arise from the water, as Goku went on to say to himself, reality isn't often what it's portrayed to be. Feel your surroundings to know when your opponent is coming, he says. Come on now, Goku, focus and pay attention. Use what we said to find a way to combine the sum of the greater two in order to create the ultimate power. The path that I continue to walk down and my ambition to become the best will not be what meets its end here, he utters, as once again from out of nowhere, without Goku even having to realize, he was then quickly shown grabbing onto Whis' staff, as Whis even attempted to strike Goku from behind and now missing, which now had gone as far as to display Goku's cognitive awareness even during the midst of battle, with Whis having to comment, you were able to sense me coming. Very good, he says. Just like that, I can feel you struggling to hold it, but you must continue to draw this strength out onto the surface, he continues. Can't you see what I see, or are the blindfolds still covering your eyes when you look into your reflection, Whis asks. No one ever said this was going to be easy, he continues, but as tightly as you continue to hold on, the more you are beginning to lose your grip, he says. But of course, I do hope that you know, unless one of the five decides to spawn a staff or any kind of weapon, this little attempt will get you nowhere in the long run, Goku. Though you are growing stronger, it still feels as though you aren't reaching your true potential, with Goku responding, I don't see it. What is it that you are seeing that I am not, Goku questions. If I'm getting stronger, then how come I can't seem to merge those powers you kept telling me about? Or what is it that I'm doing wrong? With Whis responding, well, you haven't fully figured out a way to fight without using one of the two methods of combat between an angel and a Saiyan, so that's one of them. But also, your mind isn't fully awake, he continues, meaning unless you can strengthen it, you will be vulnerable in battle. As from out of nowhere beneath the waves, we then once again see how a set of chains were now shown wrapping around Goku's leg, as Goku went on to respond, what the, no, not these chains again, And off you go, Whis says. Think about what I said, Goku. I'm not here to simply give you the answers, but to show you the path that leads you to them, he says. To which in the meantime, as Goku's body was shown getting dragged beneath the waves and now sinking back down onto the ocean floor, Goku knew that once again he now found himself in deep trouble, as Whis went on to continue, you won't always find yourself in the winner's seat, Goku. Be the light that drives you out of the darkness that you find yourself in, or you will forever be lost, with Goku then saying to himself, I can't do anything, not again, but I don't think it's an illusion this time, losing air, no, I have to keep trying. To which, fortunately enough for Goku, as he then went on to react by swiping away a blast from out of nowhere, it was just then upon having to notice this where Goku went on to respond, a blast. I know that energy. Krillin! No, that won't work, Goku says. As it was seconds later, with Goku now shown taking swift action in eliminating the supposed Krillin that was in front of him, Goku was now slowly beginning to understand the difference between what reality is and the perceived reality that he could end up finding himself in, as he from there went on to look up through the waves and responding, I feel like I'm stuck, but Whis is right there in front of me. I have to focus and break out of this state of mind. Maybe what Whis meant by what he said was perhaps I'm the one who is secretly weighing myself down, and I can't let that continue, he says. As even then, with Goku having to mutter this to himself all around him, it seems as though he's not alone alone, or at least drowning within his own thoughts, as these ghoulish-like figures continue to address Goku by telling him that he should quit and that he won't be able to do anything to win. Goku, even while having to hear this, seems to be blocking out the voices that are around him, as Goku from there went on to continue, "I have come a very long way, and if I let go and stop here, then my journey would have been for nothing," he says. "To walk down the path of the angels and to embrace my Saiyan heritage, to combine them, I will find a way," he says. "I will find a way." As all the while above the surface, Whis was from that point shown looking on down and responding, "Interesting. He's managed to sync both his mind and his body momentarily, but he still struggles to maintain complete control, though I won't tell him, for he will have to discover it all on his own. Goku's full potential is greater than he realizes," Whis says. That faint halo seen around his neck says it all. At his absolute peak, Goku has what it takes to enter into the domain of the angels in power, he continues, but strangely enough, he doesn't seem to see or notice it. He struggles now, but I do hope that he will later find the keys which will help unlock the door that he needs to step through. Which now the question becomes, will you crumble under the weight of such responsibility and pressure, or will you find a way to thrive in it and use it to finally become one with who you are meant to be? We will see as time passes, as a magnificent explosion is then seen, as a burst of water is then thrusted in the air. It would seem as though within the moment, Goku was able to, no pun intended, drown out the voices around him, to which as soon as Whis was now beginning to notice that Goku was emerging from the water, where Whis from there went on to continue, "Well, at least he's moving there. I'm now starting to see what needs to be done with him once we enter into the more serious stages of his training, but this at least gives me a better idea of the monstrous power he's hiding," Whis says, which may or may not help him against the Five, but in time, I wonder if I should bring him into the mirror realm for him to meet the sage, yet perhaps I'll wait, but we'll see how things will go. With Goku being shown emerging from the water and responding, "The voices are gone now." "Well, I must give it to you," Goku, Whis chimes in, "and here I was about to pull you out of that ocean and resuscitate you. I need you to do what you just did more often, only try and control it rather than let it slip through your fingers again," Whis adds. "I'll try, Whis. This planet is really something. It's nothing like I imagined it would be, but I think I was able to block out a lot of the outside influence and focus more on what's at stake, so what you think? You think I'm getting closer towards finding the next level of creating my own version of Ultra Instinct? Well, I will say this much, you're getting there, but we still have a lot of work that needs to be done. If I could get you to at least fight on par with me, then your chances of winning will be great, but I hope you know, we aren't finished, Goku, not by a long shot in fact. The hard part has yet to start, so it's best for you to hop right back into it before you lose your focus." As all the while in the meantime, when then going back inside of the hyperbolic time chamber with both Cooler and Frieza, we only from that point moving forward then see how Golden Cooler and Black Frieza were locked in a very intense battle, with Golden Cooler being shown having to deflect each and every single one of Black Frieza's energy blasts, as Cooler went on to ask, "What happened, Frieza? Don't tell me this is all you're going to be doing during our fight, is it? Either you're holding out on me or this black form of yours really isn't." But then, that was when from out of nowhere above him, while holding a gigantic energy ball above his head, where we from there see how Frieza had gone as far as to cut Cooler off by responding, "Far from it, in fact. Here, maybe this ought to shut you up." "What the? That little pest," Cooler says. "How did he get up there so quick? Oh no, he baited me," Cooler continues. "You little trickster, you aren't going to fool me." As it was just within the nick of time, with Golden Cooler being shown retreating in just about avoiding Frieza's attack, where Cooler went on to continue, "Damn you, just you wait until I am finally able to get my hands on." But then, it was only once again where Frieza had gone as far as to cut Cooler off by from there being shown elbowing Cooler in the spine by responding, "And you'll do what exactly if I don't get my hands on you first? You couldn't even see me move past you, yet you still believe that somehow you are stronger? No, big brother. We are not the same, and my black form is clearly Clearly, far above your golden one, he adds, as within the quickness with Black Frieza being shown grabbing onto his brother's throat by them being shown holding him up above his head was when Frieza had now gone as far as to add even more insult to injury by responding. However, I will say you sure have endured a lot more punishment than I assumed you would. Reminds me of that monkey Vegeta, with Cooler responding, "You haven't beaten me yet, brat." Oh, is that so? Frieza questions, then fight back. Instead of gasping for air, fight back. Oh wait, you can't. Not unless of course you still think that your golden form can hold out much longer, he says. Either push yourself into discovering another level similar to mine, or perish assuming that you have any chance of winning the way you are. The choice is yours to make, Frieza says, so what will it be, with Cooler responding, "How dare you patronize me, fool? This ought to shut that mouth of yours up, you little worm." As it was just then with Cooler unleashing a gigantic blast and assuming that this in fact had stopped Black Frieza, it was just then with Cooler being shown catching his breath, where he from there went on to continue, "There. Was that what you wanted? Oh, wait a second. It did nothing. I can still feel your energy behind the debris. No, surely you must be damaged," Cooler says. But unfortunately for Cooler, it looks as though Black Frieza was not damaged in the slightest, as Black Frieza had gone as far as to respond to Cooler by telling him, "I'll admit, that wasn't quite bad. I wasn't expecting for you to hold out this long against me, but then again, here I am still holding back a tremendous amount of power from you, just to see if you can last without me using it," he says. "You were always the one who sought to set the example in our family, so now what happened?" he questions. "Surely you can do as I did and push yourself into achieving another form, can't you? Or is this the peak of your power and there is nothing more for you to strive and achieve?" he questions. "If you plan to stand with me in this war, then surely you can do so as an equal, can't you?" And this infuriates Cooler, as he from that point had now gone as far as to power up by then responding, "Oh, is that so, you little brat? I'll show you. Now don't move and stay right where you are. Let's see how much of this form of yours can manage once I squeeze you right out of it, Frieza." But once again, Frieza had now proven to be even faster than Cooler by teleporting out of the way and kicking Cooler from behind by asking, "Oh, is that so? How if you are simply too slow to grab onto me?" he asks. And with Frieza slowly now being shown walking towards his brother while down on the ground was when Frieza went on to continue, "I can feel it brewing deep within you, Cooler. Now get up and show it to me. Show me why you were always respected by our father as being the faster learner between us. Your golden form will only hold out against my black form for so long, so do you give up?" You're insane if you think I'll stop here. I'm not finished, Cooler says. Far from it, in fact. I'm just buying my time to see how far I can push this golden body against your black one before I crush you. This isn't a game to me, Frieza. Because if you can excel, he shouts, then so can I. Now watch closely and I'll show you, Cooler says. As it was only during Cooler's initial power-up, with Frieza shown having to patiently wait, where Frieza went on to continue, there it is. Oh, let's find out then, he says. I can see your golden color beginning to change. And no, it appears as though you were right. You aren't going to stick with black after all, he continues. How very interesting, but can your body manage? Well, I guess we're about to find out, won't we, big brother? As it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse manga chapter number 19 special then comes to a close. So it doesn't look as though Goku is the only one here that's getting stronger, because we see how Vegeta is doing his own thing with Beerus by attending the God Summit, as all the while Frieza and Cooler are training inside the time chamber, which one only then has to ask the question on where this is going to lead, especially with Frieza and Cooler getting exponentially more powerful than how they were before, by also being seen having backups on top of backups, with their ultimate backup being the Potara earrings. I cannot wait to show you guys how this is all going to unfold moving forward, so I really hope you guys have been paying attention to all of the small details because this story is not going to go into the direction you think it's going to go into. So to that, you're gonna have to wait and see what I have in store for you coming up next. So again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys had fun. To where, as always, if you just so happen to be new to this channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, so that way you guys never miss a single video that is posted onto the channel. On top of showing us some love by scrolling on down below and giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below, tune back in for more. I appreciate you guys for watching and sticking on by, and with that being said, I'm going to be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and on the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.